Okay, so this should be streaming hopefully. Let me just double check. Yes, this is live. Great. So yesterday I did a short stream how to create these little bubble graphics. And there you go, zoom in a little bit so you can see it bigger. And all I've done in this scene here, I just added another layer, 2D layer in the background, just put a little gradient in there. But so now I want to take this a little bit further and add some data. So I'm going to make a new bubble where you can use data to drive it to fill it up. So I'm going to close this. Don't save. New scene. Okay, so we're starting from scratch. And so I'm going to get an axis circle just like yesterday. Like so. Scale it up. I'm just using scale all so you can see it nice and clear. I'm going to get a toolbox and then I'm going to go to color solid. It'll be a really short tutorial, but it'll be really easy to follow. I'm going to need to open Photoshop. Let this load. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to do file new. I'll just do 1920 by 1080 and say, was it yesterday? I did halfway because I needed more of an alpha, but because I want it to fill right to the top, I just need a little bit. I just need a little bit of alpha right at the top. So, just gonna make a new layer. You can use the curve pen tool, like this. I don't want the waves to be huge. Almost I want to keep these ones really subtle. Oh, let me hide that navigator. Okay. I'm gonna just bring out the ruler. Make sure you get this in the same position almost. Oh crap. Okay. I'm gonna just close this path. Let's adjust this start one. And like here. That'll do. It's not too much. So I'm gonna select that path. And in the layer I'll just fill it. You can where is it? Fill using the paint bucket. And that's what I want. So what I'm going to do is in Ventuz, I'm going to take this texture and in the Y position, it's going to fill like that. That's how we're going to animate it upwards using the UV mapping. So let me just put that back. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to save this out as a PNG. I'm going to call this data wave. PNG, save. Okay, I'm going to minimize that in case I need to change the texture or edit it or if I'm not happy with it. So now we've got our color here. I want to go into the material stage, add the texture base. So base and alpha, and double click this. I'll go find where I saved my data. So it's data wave texture. Open. There we go. See, it's pretty easy. So now if I go here into the UV mappings, 2D, I'm going to say UV 0. And already, just by taking the Y value, you can see it fill up the circle. Cool. So we're going to change the scaling a little, like that. I might scale it a little bit in Y. and bring this down a little bit, so it's a little bit more. There we go. Now I want this to wrap. I'm going to change this to wrap. Actually, don't want it to wrap. Do I need it to wrap is the question. I don't think I do need it to wrap. Because I'll say that's the X position there. I know where the X position. I'll just change the scaling of the X a little. There. Yeah, that should be plenty. Okay. So we're going to animate the X and the Y position. So what we're going to do, we're going to need a keyframe animation. Like so. Going to take from the UV mapping the X position and the Y position. And I'm just going to go into the timeline. Close this. Oh, what the? Did it? Okay, that was unexpected. I wasn't expecting it to freeze. We'll let that load up. Okay. That's loaded up. I'll go quickly recreate what we've done. It won't take me long. Solid color, circle. Let's scale this up. Texture. Load it in. Was it data wave? And then I changed the UV property, so I was editing in UV0. I scaled the X, the Y, and then the position. Like this. Let me check the X position here if I'm happy with that. I need a bit more scaling. There we go. I'm happy with that. Let's start here. And okay, so if we go back to the keyframing. So I had the keyframe node, so if I'll get that back up, keyframe animation. And I'll take the X position and the Y position. And what I'm going to do is keyframe. So I'll set a keyframe at the 2. So I'm going to say, so I want this completely empty. So I'm going to change the position of the Y. So this is completely empty. And when we say we get to a second, you can change it to seconds so you can see it's in seconds. And can fill it right just before I fill it to the top. I don't want to move the X position. I'll just get to there. So the end just before it starts the texture. That's the end of the texture right there. Just before it gets there, I don't want it to end. And now I'll fill it to the top with the Y position like that. That key. There we go. So hit play. Now we're filling the circle. Very cool. Now I want another line behind that. So what could I do? I could duplicate this. Should I duplicate or link? Let's try the link. I want to try the link. Okay, so I'm going to say link here and drag it above, so it's going to be behind this, and assign another axis like this. So this one's behind. No, we can't do link here because I want a different color. So sorry, I just thought of that. Oh no, we could do link here and then add the color in front of each one. Yeah, it's fine because that's white. Let me just test it. Sorry, I'm just making this go wrong. There we go. Color. I just want to test. This should be inherit. Where's inherit? Inherit. Yeah. So if you change your you see I changed the color to inherit on here, sorry. So now it will inherit the color in front of it. That's a fine. So I can place another color. So if I placed that red here and said, okay, this is blue here. So we go for light blue here, and then we go for dark blue in the background. Maybe dark purpley blue. Look at this. Okay, great. All I can do is just stick it behind. I'm gonna scale it a tiny bit, almost flatten it out. Almost. There we go. So now if I drag it down, ew. Maybe not. No. Ignore this. Ignore the link. Okay, unlink. I'll just experiment, but ignore that. So you can unlink this. So you can just go edit, unlink, delete that. Okay, so we're back to here. Okay. The other way I'm thinking of doing it now, get an axis, take this circle, just control and duplicate, just gonna scale it. If I scale it to the same size, or is it the same size? Just make sure. Yep. Now I want this, I want another line here, so I need another texture on this. So all I can do is go color, add the solid in it. And we don't need this in anymore in front, because we can just say use, instead of saying inherit, you can just say base color and then change that base color. Here we go. Okay, so we've got this. So on this one, I want this another texture. The same, actually, I'll just reuse the same texture. I'm just gonna go texture, base and alpha, and it was on the desktop. Is it called data white? I called it. There we go. And edit the UV properties. I'm going to change the 2D mapping to UV01. Scale out the X and change the Y position. Now I want this one to be tiny bit. So I don't want it as wavy as the first one, but a bit less. There we go. And let's see how the X position. Still too wavy. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, that's not too bad. It's almost like a straight line. That's what I'm looking for. So I'm gonna select this and this, the two materials. So now I'm gonna link this material to the animation node. And I can rename this as well, the animation node. So I'm just gonna call this fill. Okay. So I'm gonna take the X position and the Y position. So our starting position, just before it goes there, I'm just going to animate on the X. So starting position for the X will be there and the Y will be off. Like so. And just as I'm gonna set the keys and then drag them. So I'm gonna take the Y all the way to the top. Move the X. Cross. About there. That key. Oh, I've delete those extra keys on the. I had these selected. Make sure you have just this material selected that you're editing. There we go. Now we can't see it very well, so we can offset this. There we go. Just offsetting it, offset the keys. Here we go. Now we've got almost 2 layers. So we've got these 2 layers. Here's a bit. I like that. We can have more control. If I go into 60 frames, then I can drag it more. Like that. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Okay, so on this material, second material here, I'm going to change the base color to a darker color. So what I could do is just take the color picker, pick that color, and then just go further down. Here we go. And let's make sure this, where it says base color, I'm just going to make sure that says no light. Here we go. So now we're filling it up. We need something to contain this, so we need we need like a border. I'm just going to grab an axis, another circle, scale this up. Let's fill the circle, scale this up. And on the circle properties, I'm just going to go to hole, make a little border. Here we go. So now we've got this little animation that fills this bubble, but we need some data to drive it. And we also want to display maybe the percentage of that filling up. So what we could do is we can just group this. So I'm just going to get group. This. And I'm just going to merge the container for now. Now I'll call this data bubble 1 or the data B1. Data bubble 1. So B is for bubble. Okay, I'm going to go into that container. And what I want to do is, now I'm happy with this animation, I want to expose a way of controlling this. So I'm going to use the simple control. It's really easy, 0 to 100. So now this is our percentage. So 0%, 100%, 50%, whatever you want. So we can expose this out of the container. And you can even name it. So if you double click the little green property box here to expose, you can rename this. So you could say, you could call this fill percentage or whatever you want, or what you feel. Oh, I hope I spelled that right. So now I've exposed that. You might also want to expose the colors. Say you want to reuse this, duplicate this, and have multiple bubbles with data. You can maybe you want different colors, so you should maybe consider exposing. So what you want to do is actually name these as well. So I'm gonna call this front and back. Oh no, that's the back color and that's the front color. So now I can say, okay, that's a long name to expose. But say front color and expose the back color. There we go. So we've got that. You could add a color to the border if you wanted to customize it further. So you could just add another color solid. Color solid. And expose this as call this border color. So I think we've got everything we need. So if I leave this container, so we've got a percentage, we've got 2 colors, and we've got a border we can work with. So we can change that. So next we need to add the figures. So actually we can add it in. Let's add it all in here. Let's build it in here. and then we could just duplicate. So I'm going to grab a new axis, 2D text. So I'll just write text and choose text 2D, block text. And what I'm going to do here is say center it, align to center, center, and I'm going to change the extended layout to digits only, because this will be displaying the percentage from the simple control. It will be the same as a simple control. So what we want, we need a convert to text. So convert to text. You can find this in the toolbox as well. So if you go into logic, where is logic? There should be a convert to text. Where am I looking? I thought it was in logic. There you go. I'm blind. Yeah, there you go. Convert to text. I just typed it in. And we're going to need an integer. So you can get from the variables an integer. So the integer will drive this. So what we're going to do is, as we drag this between 0 and 100, it will control the simple control. So actually we can unexpose that, because we're going to do it all inside the container. I'll leave the colors exposed, because that we want to still edit. So I'm going to drop that in. And now we want this piece of text to link to the convert to text. So we're going to drag this text into it, and the integer. I believe that's correct. Am I doing it right? No. Sorry. So 0. So from the convert to text, I want to take the 0 and link it to the integer. There we go. So now here it's displaying 36. So this is outputting 36. But I want to add the percentage at the end. So I just want to put percentage symbol where it says format. And if you want, you could space it. You could add a space like that. Actually, it looks better with. No, should I add the space? Let's see. Oh, I deleted the bracket. Yeah, let's leave the space. There we go. So now when I change the value here, you see the value change, and also we fill in the bubble. Now I look for a better font. So let me go to my fonts, edit. Do scan the system. Let's see, what have we got? I had a nice font. I had a nice font. Let me check Photoshop. 1 second. So I'm just going to check my fonts in Photoshop. So I'm going to pick one. Something so I can see it. It's really tiny. There we go. Let's go for our fonts. Or preview it through here. Ooh, Comic Sans. Oh, I like that font. Nexa Light. So okay, let's look for Nexa Light. Now, where is it? Next to light. Put into project, save. There we go. Now it's updated. I'm just going to change some of the character spacing. The 4 and the 7 are kind of touching. There we go. And I'll position this just beneath the circle, the bubble. So this integer here, this is what's driving now the data. So I'm just going to expose this, and I can call this bubble data. Where that data comes from is up to you. You could link it to an Excel sheet, could be from online, wherever that data is coming from, can be from external app. But for now, it's just in here. There we go. Now, when we get to the smaller values, we don't see anything. So maybe it's the border. Let's just scale the border up. No. So I'm going to edit the animation. So I'm just going to disconnect that. When we get to about here, we block this circle here. And I'm going to just change the Y position. Like this. And what's the Y position on here? Like this. Let's just check. There. Cool. Now I'm just going to relink. So the simple control. Cool. So we've got this working. Now all I want to do is say add the axis to this. Scale it down. I'm going to move this to the left, like so. Duplicate again. Move this on the right. Let's get an axis, rectangle maybe, and let's make it this. Oh, yeah. And just say justify to the left. Now if I scale it out next, now we've got two halves. I'm going to push this back. There we go. So now I want to invert this one because we exposed the colors. Let me just center this a bit more. Now, because we exposed those colors there on this one, I can turn this to black. Maybe I'll turn this one to a darker color, and then the background to a lighter color. And you notice I haven't exposed the font color, so maybe I want to expose that. So here, I haven't added a color for the font. Color. I want solid. And expose this. And change this to called font color. And yeah, that's fine. Just tidy up this tree little. Wait. Like it nice and tidy. It's easy to see what's connected to what. And you can even name that font. So you know that's the font. You should also here. Value. Circle, circles. That's fine. We know those circles. So we've got the color there. What I can do is turn interfacing on. Drop this one on. So now the font's exposed on that one and this one. So on here, I want to change the font to black. I might go for a bolder font, or maybe I'll just scale up the font. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, let's go for the bolder Nexus. So I'm just going to change this, edit, system. Actually, is it in here? Edit, Nexus, and bold. Yeah, import, save. Okay, there we go. I like that scale, maybe tiny bit smaller. Being a bit picky here. And then, here we go. Now we've got two sets of value. This one's at 37, and this one's at whatever. Could be 100. And then, of course, if you want, now you could animate these. So I could get keyframe animation, and I could animate that data. So I could take these two data fields. Okay, they both start at 0. If I go into seconds, and then say, okay, the first values are like here, set a key, then say, okay, the next ones could be set to something like this, and then this one, and then, you know, maybe this one's that, and that one drops a tiny bit. And if I set my state, so actually we can play through it, you'll see it. That's just playing through it. And you could add some states. So new state, new state, new state, new state. You can name these. So right now, just using the S1, S2, S3, S4. So I'll go here into my logic view. So I could say, well, could call this start. And then here I could say data set 1, data set 2, data, oh, not katana, data set 3, if I scale that, you can see that. So I got data set 1, 2, and 3. There we go. So right now it's only, you can see the next and previous. So if I click here, you see where it says auto connect states? And it says, okay, create auto connections, create animation rules, overwrite existing for me. And it's so smart that it will figure out all the different paths for you, and then it will jump between those values. So now if I say, okay, we'll go back to the start, and I want to see data set 1. Okay, now let's go to data set 3, and maybe 2. And that's a good example actually. And now you can see here, if you notice, between 1 and 3, the speed difference. So if I go here, we've got slices. What you could do is you could edit that speed there. So 1 and 3 seems a bit too slow, so maybe I could speed that up. So now when I transition between 1 and 3, it can even be faster than that because it's very little. 1 and 3, there we go. You can tweak these to something you like. The other thing you could do is can add an oscillator in there, make it. But so if I put that back to 1 second, and then I'll go into the container. If we added an oscillator where those values are changing, I wonder if I can just put it here. Let's see. I don't know what will happen, but there we go. I'm going to change the damping to about 12. Okay. And I'll just pass that down so it updates the other one. And now let's switch between 1 and 3. There we go. Got a little bounce to it. There we go. And so maybe go to the start. You might notice there we've got some clipping Z sort. So what I can do is I can fix that. Make sure this is pushed back slightly by 1 and this one -1. And then they shouldn't clip, and I'll just do that to update the other one. What is this line here? Is this a line? Let me check. There's not that. There's something there. Is it this? Is this? Apparently, that's not enough, so I pushed it back further. And now I have to push this back. Oh. Hang on. I don't know what that line is there. It's actually annoying me. Let me just fix this. That's at 0. Could just be my card. There we go. Anyway, now we'll go 1, 3, 2. Nice. Now say so let's say example we keyframe that data. So that's one way, say your data, but say your data has to change and you don't want to edit these keyframes, but they're coming from a spreadsheet. We could also link that. So if I save as, I'll just call this data bubbles, and I'm going to disconnect this animation. So I'm going to say delete that. And I'll say, okay, well, I want my data to come from a spreadsheet that will update. So if I go to, I'll just put it on a desktop or messy desktop, new spreadsheet. I'll just call this data. I'm using OpenOffice because it's free. I just called it data, so my desktop. And you can save as Excel sheet, Microsoft version. So say we're gonna make our data. So we're gonna link this to a spreadsheet. So we've got 2 bubbles. So I'm just gonna give these titles so we can see. So bubble 1, bubble 2, and you can even fill these in, color it. I'm not very good with Excel, but where is it? Let's put a background, say 1 blue, and this one a little darker blue. There we go. So we could say, okay, this is 20, this is 40 or 50, then say 100, and say, I don't know, 32 or 34, whatever. I'm just making up some values. I'm just going to put some random values in there. Okay, so we've got some random values. I'm going to just say save as. Change this to an Excel, Microsoft Excel. The XLS, there it is, .xls. Save it to desktop. Yeah, keep current format, that's fine. So now that's saved. I'll leave it open so when we edit, we can edit that as well. You'll see the values. But so now those values and I can look at the spreadsheet. So if I go here into my toolbox and I go to data, Excel workbook, actually I'll close that file because you can I'll show you can open up the Excel from here as well. So just open up Excel. So it's on my desktop, and that's the one, data, and we need row and column. So we're going to just use row and column. So we're going to need one for each, and row and column. And these two, they need a workbook. So you see where it says workbook? We drop that and link it to our workbook, which points out, which imported our Excel file into the project. And then all we do is take our bubble data and we can link it. So I'm going to link it to, say, number, and this one to number. Now it's looking for the number. But right now, if we go to, say, our sheet here, it doesn't have a what's it called? A number right now. 0. It says right now it's looking at bubble 1. So row 1, bubble 1. So if I change it to 2, now you can see it's on 2, it's on 20, that's 20. So if I change that to 2, and 20 was our start. So what I could do now is, so, and then I also have to change the column as well for the second one. So the second bubble, I'm going to change that to look at column 2. So if we go to our open our Excel sheet, so if I say open Excel, so if bubble 1 is 20, bubble 2 is 50. 20, 50. So what I could do is get an integer, example, integer, take those two, and I want to animate the row, or change the row. So I want these two to be connected. So now when I go, was it? Because it would start from 2 because we've got the title. So this is 2 here, so you can see. So it wouldn't be 1, it would be 2. But if you wanted to start, if you start with 1, then it's at 0, so it's empty. Then you get 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. You could keep on, depending on how many you want to do, but you could add to it. That's one way to read data, and we've linked it to the bubble. And if you want, you could keyframe that, and then at any time, then you can just edit that data in the spreadsheet, and it will update. It's just another way of doing it. There's so many ways of connecting data and driving graphics. I'll say there's 2. But hopefully that was another useful tutorial. It wasn't just a graphic. Yesterday it was just a graphic, but you can do more with that graphic. You can drive it with data. But I hope you enjoyed it. It wasn't too long, and hopefully it made sense. I kind of just made it up as went along, like usual. I'm just gonna put a solid on that rectangle. There we go. That white's too powerful. I don't know, like a grey. There we go. But I'll try to stay on top of doing tutorials from time to time. Yeah. Have a good evening and good day. That's fun.